Hi, good peoples. This video is on your parabola bonus quiz. So the other day we talked about parabolas. Parabolas are the U-shaped curve that is represented in real life. Most of the time you can see them in satellites and different things of that nature. So I want you, for a bonus quiz, I want you to take a selfie with a parabola in the real world. The objective is for you to be creative, and you cannot use my example, which I will show you in a second. And you cannot make up a parabola. What do I mean by that? You see this chord that I have here, if I bend it, it makes a U-shaped curve. That means we have just now created our own parabola. That is something that you cannot use as an example. But if you look and see and be observant to different things that are out there, then take a selfie with it and then upload that to our second step, to Desmos. Or you may use GeoGebra if you like as well. Once you have come to Desmos, once you have come to Desmos, I'm going to show you how to do this really quickly. I didn't mean to have it up here. You come here to this Add the Item in the top hand corner. You click Add Item and you select Image. From selecting an image, you will scroll down to the parabola 1, right? And or whatever picture you have taken, whatever picture you have downloaded to your computer. Okay, so now we have uploaded our parabola. I'll close this a little bit for ourselves for a second. Now you can click on the parabola and you can shift it up, you can shift it down. I want to shift mine so that my bottom, my base, or my vertex is at a very specific point. You can even make it bigger, make it wider, make it longer, however you choose. All right. But you need to make sure that you do that so that you can be able to calculate your own quadratic function. So once you have kind of set this up, then you will come to this share option here, share the graph. And once you hit this option, you will click on export image. From exporting the image, you can select a medium square, small square, large square, medium rectangle, large rectangle. I'm going to still select the medium square because it keeps it kind of small. All right. This is zoomed in at 100%, but if you would like to, you can right click here and you can copy the image, or you can download the PNG file. So from here, you will bring it back to your presentation, right? In your PowerPoint, you will have a before picture, and now you should be able to paste in your after picture. Okay, of course, scale it to size, and then that is the first two steps of doing this bonus quiz. From here, take the information and actually line up and figure out what your quadratic function is. Okay, so once we've uploaded our picture here, then we will determine what our vertex is and some other points in order to get the quadratic function. So here we have the base of the curve, right, which would be our minimum point, if we remember that in our class, right? But that minimum point is also considered to be our vertex, right? That is considered to be our extreme point, our minimum point, our vertex. All are stating the same thing. So our minimum point here is, our vertex here is going to actually be 0, -2. All right. Now also remember, vertex means that this represents your H and your K. All right. So from this information, remember the quadratic function, or in the vertex form, is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So what am I going to do here? I have my h and my k, which is my vertex, but I don't have my a. And you would think that you don't have your x and your y, but you do. All right. You can simply find any point on your curve, and I'm going to just use the base of my banana as my curve to determine another point. So if I use this point here, it's at the base of my curve, right? We would have 1, 2, 3, so that should be a +3 and a -1 as our as our ordered pair, right? X and Y. So here we go. We have negative 1 equals to, we don't know what A is, but that's what we're trying to figure out, equals to A times 3 minus, what is our H? Our H is 0. So 3 minus 0 squared plus our K. Well, our K happens to be negative, so it's not going to be a plus 2. It is going to be a minus 2. Now we need to simplify. Well, negative 1 equals to A times 3 minus 1 is, 3 minus 0 is just 3. 3 squared minus 2. We would add this 2 to both sides, and then we would simply get 1 equals to A times 3 squared will be 9. So if I rewrite this for everybody so we can make it look better, we would say 1 equals to 9A. And again, we are solving for A, so that means we need to divide both sides by positive 9. Once we divide both sides by positive 9, we would say our A equals to 1 divided by 9, or 1/9, right? So now we have some great information. We have our A, we have our H, we have our K. Remember, we need this information in order to put it again into this vertex form. So I can say from my banana parabola that I have here, my formula for this, or my quadratic function in vertex form, would be y equals to 1/9 times A, not A, times X, all right? What's my H? My H is 0 times X minus 0 squared, right? Minus 2, which really is telling me that it should be y equals to 1/9 times X squared minus 2. And that will be my quadratic function for this graph. So again, you need to do this. And once you have completed and found your equation and uploaded your graph, then you can come back and put all of your information into your PowerPoint, into your own PowerPoint. Again, if you have only just this is the rubric. If you have only just the picture, the before picture, that's only going to be a 50%. If you have the before and after picture of the graph, that's going to be 70%. If you have the before and after graph and you show your work, right, that means you're going to get an 80%. If you have the before and after picture, you show your work correctly, and you have the correct equation, you'll get 100%. So this can be a relatively easy bonus quiz, but it's solely up to you. If you have any questions, then make sure you read through all of these directions, and you will upload this information to D2L. Thanks, y'all.